Good evening, fellow Biafrans all over the world. I welcome all of you to this evening space. This is official press briefing by the Prime Minister of Biafra on the Biafra government ready to rectify the United Nations international human rights treaties during the Biafra Convention in Finland. Success, I don't know, can you hear me? Is my voice coming out?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, you are very loud.
Good evening. Was the national anthem out? Did you hear that?
Yes. Everything was perfect.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. The media teams are very busy at this point, and they're going to join us along the way. But because of our time and the engagement, we've decided to come to this particular space this afternoon, this evening, depending on where you are listening from. So I welcome every one of you, fellow Biafrans, friends, well-wishers, and lovers of freedom. I want you to understand that the Biafra government will offer alternative to what Nigeria deprived you. And one of the alternatives we are offering to the Biafra people is the ratification and assent to the United Nations human rights treaties. This will be rectified during the convention to form a legal base for the Biafra government recognition by United Nations and beyond. Like I have informed you all, for those who do not know what we are doing and why this convention is very important at this point and why it has become the only pathway to Biafra freedom. For those who will be wondering, what are they doing? Why are they declaring, or why are they having convention in exile? That's why we are called the government in exile. So we will restore the lost sovereign state of Biafra from exile. And if you do not know, for those asking who have done it before, we are laying the precedents for others to follow. Those who care, they will learn from us. So, my fellow Biafrans, first of all, I would like to give a little background on the importance of Biafra government providing alternative to the human right which Nigeria terrorist government has violated with impunity. Every one of you remember when one of the UN working group called Working Group on Arbitrary Detention demanded the release of Nnamdi Kanu and mandated Nigeria terrorist state to release him within 6 months. After this particular ultimatum was given by a UN certified group called the Working Group on Arbitrary Detention, monetary compensation was also awarded by this group. Nigeria snubbed, ignored, and violated this ultimatum. And so I would like to start laying this background of the importance of the assent or ratifying the Treaty of the United Nations and abide by it, which Nigeria have violated for decades with impunity. So Biafra will be a better alternative for every humankind who wish to be in a civilized world. And Biafra will be a model for other African states who are tyrannic, who does not know the rule of law, who are not democratic. Biafra will be a model for them to learn. So when we ratify these treaties, we will make sure that Biafra become the only African country that will lay a foundation and make a model for other countries to learn. So, and by doing that, it will go a long way in restoring peace, lasting peace in Africa when others learn how to abide by the rule of law and also how to abide and respect the treaties that you signed into law as a country and as a state. Any country without rule of law, any country that does not respect constitution, that country is bound to fail. And that's why Nigeria has failed. Nigeria has no rule of law. Nigeria does not respect its so-called constitution. Nigeria does not respect any treaty that they have signed into law. Nigeria does not respect the United Nations Convention on Human Rights. Nigeria does not respect any agreement whatsoever they are into. And so that is the reason for the anarchy. That is the reason for the insecurity. Apart from the Islamic State agenda, this is the backbone of the insecurity today in Nigeria. That's why Nigeria has become ungovernable and Nigeria has become a failed state, because they do not have the rule of law and they do not respect their own law, not to talk of treaties they are assented to. Biafra will provide a solution. One of the solutions is we will abide by these rules and norms of international treaties and convention that we will be ratifying during the convention in Finland. So, what is the working group that gave Nigeria ultimatum to release Nnamdi Kanu that they kidnapped from Kenya, extraordinarily rendition to Nigeria under torture, inhumane treatment, degrading treatment, and what have you? The working group has the mandate to investigate cases of deprivation of liberty imposed arbitrarily and inconsistently with international standard set forth in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights or international instrument accepted by the state concerned. That is what this working group is all about. The working group investigates alleged cases of arbitrary detention, like in the case of thousands of Biafrans, including Nnamdi Kanu. They do this by sending urgent appeal and communications to concerned government, just like they have done to Nigeria, to clarify and or bring the attention of these cases. which they did to Nigeria. They gave Nigeria 6 months. The working group also considers individual complaint. So as you are, like those families that Nigeria have killed, murdered their relative, they can also individually file complaint directly to this particular group. Under its regular communication procedure, leading to the adoption of opinions. So when you file this complaint, they give opinions as to the arbitrariness of this detention. In addition, the working group conduct country visit to assess the situation of deprivation of liberty in the country. That is the primary objective of this working group on arbitrary detention that gave Nigeria 6 months to release Nnamdi Kanu, and also fine Nigeria to compensate Nnamdi Kanu monetarily. Nigeria violated this opinion of the working group, which is a direct violation of the United Nations Charter on Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which Nigeria also assented and signed into their own law and accepted. They will abide by these rules and regulations that makes you stand firm in the Committee of Nations. So any country that is violating this kind of laws with impunity have lost every legitimacy, including within the United Nations. And this time Nigeria was at the UN General Assembly seeking to become a permanent member. A permanent member of organization that you violate their own laws and treaties. My fellow Biafrans, I just want you to have a little background knowledge about what I'm about to explain this evening, why Biafra is bringing an alternative, not just by ratifying the United Nations International Human Rights Treaties at the convention in Finland, but also making sure that we abide by these laws and treaties to make sure we restore peace and order, because that is the only pathway to peace and order in the entire region. Any country that is violating this right with impunity is bringing anarchy, and that is the reason why there is a lot of anarchy in Nigeria, because they do not respect rule of law. They are nomadic, they are Islamic State. The only agenda is Islamic agenda. I will also need to inform you that many Islamic countries did not assent to some of these human rights treaties. And that's exactly the direction Nigeria is going. Or they're already in that direction. So Biafra is an alternative to restore peace and stability in the Sahel and beyond. My fellow Biafrans that are listening to me today, I want you to understand that there are some of these, at least you are going to hear from me, some of these international human rights treaties of the United Nations that Biafra government will be rectifying during the convention of the Biafra in Finland. My fellow Biafrans, you may need to understand the concept of these treaties and what it bounds to do. What are the indicators of these treaties, which will become one of the backbone of the Biafra government as we pursue the recognition of the government of Biafra after the convention, after the declaration of the restoration of independence of Biafra, and we have formed a legal document from the convention, and this ratification of treaties will form a major part of the document that the Biafra government will form during the convention in Finland. So the indicator referred to as a state, that consent, a state consent to be bound by the human rights treaties under international law. So when you as a state consent to this international treaty, you are bound. you are bound by those treaties to make sure that you stand by that treaties, and by doing so, you restore peace and stability in your country and in your region. The reason for the insecurity today, apart from the kidnap of Nnamdi Kanu, Nigeria violated that particular treaty. They did not bound by it. So what is the rationale? When a state ratifies one of the international human rights treaty, it assumes a legal obligation to implement the right recognized in that treaty. Do you understand the word? When a state ratifies, like Nigeria ratifies this law, Nigeria, if it's supposed to be a country, under international human rights treaty, Nigeria assumes legal obligation, obliged to implement the rights recognized in that treaty. And what are these rights? Do not commit the crime of kidnapping people. Do not commit the crime of arbitrarily detaining people. Do not commit the crime of torturing people. Do not commit the crime of depriving people their liberty. Nigeria have committed all this crime against the Biafran people, especially Nnamdi Kanu. And they are still standing on this crime that if heaven is going to fall, let it fall. That's where we are today. We are still settling the matter. Now, through ratification, states undertake to put in place domestic measures and legislation compatible with their treaty obligation. The state also commit to submitting regular report on how the rights are being implemented to the monitoring committee set up under the treaty. Now, how can Nigeria now submit a report on how they are implementing this right, which they signed into, by arbitrarily detaining Nnamdi Kanu, detaining thousands of Biafrans illegally? So they are going to write a report that, oh, you know, Biafrans are agitating, so we catch them, we kidnap some of them, we put them, we distribute them to different parts of northern Nigeria, and they are not going to court. As a matter of fact, we have thousands of Biafrans inside the prison, and there is no trial, and some of them have been there for 20 years. And they will write, is that the report they're going to write to the United Nations? In accordance with the treaty Nigeria signed? The answer is no. They can't even write a report, not to talk of writing what they are doing. So Biafra is coming to ratify these particular treaties and provide solution and alternative to Nigeria. That's what we're doing, to make sure we safeguard the life of our people, and no sane human being can have a contrary opinion or go against Biafra becoming a nation, in order to restore peace and stability in the entire Sahel region by following this particular rules and regulation of the international law. So you see, the reason we are sacrificing everything, taking the risk we are taking, is for humanity. So everybody can at least enjoy some level of peace. Now, this particular concept of the international treaties mandate the state to also commit to submitting regular report on how the rights are being implemented to the monitoring committee set up under the treaty. Who are this committee? The working group is part of the committee set up by this particular treaty. The committee that have mandated Nigeria to release Nnamdi Kanu, not only Nnamdi Kanu, but his own case is more of, getting an international attention. Now, this committee, Nigeria, for ratifying this particular treaty, is mandated to submit a report to this committee that they are snubbed, violated their own ultimatum with impunity. So which face would Nigeria use to challenge the Biafra government when we are here to say enough is enough with your impunity, enough is enough with your supporting of terrorism. We are not even talking about them funding terrorism, giving them guns and arms to fight and kill indigenous people to take over their land in the name of Islamic State. We're not even talking about that yet. We're talking about only the arbitrary detention of innocent citizens, so-called innocent citizens, arbitrary detention of those who were exercising their right protected under this United Nations treaty. That is what we are still addressing. We are not addressing their terrorism and how they are killing people, extrajudicial killings and all that. No, we are only talking about this particular detention of innocent people. How Nigeria violates this law with impunity that lead to the anarchy that you see today. Because the solution to prevent anarchy, to prevent instability, has been laid down in all these principles and treaties that we are going to assent to. And once you begin to violate it, you are opening and creating a loophole for anarchy to come in, because people are going to resist you. When you violate people's rights, using gun and bullet, think you can use them to suppress them for a long time. No, at a point, they will fight back. And that is why I am leading the fighting back against Nigeria today. And I will stand anywhere, anytime in the world to defend how I am leading the pushback to fight against the terrorist state of Nigeria with our guns and bullets. What is the concept of this treaty? A state party to a treaty is a state that has expressed consent by an act of ratification, accession, or succession, and where the treaty has entered into force, or a state about to become a party after formal reception by the United Nations Secretary of the state decision to be a party. A signatory to a treaty is a state that provided a preliminary endorsement of the instrument and its intent to examine the treaty domestically and consider ratifying it. No action means that a state did not express its consent. Nigeria expressed its consent in ratifying these treaties that they are now violating, and Biafra is the only alternative to bring to an end to the impunity. No, so my brother Biafra people, I want to quickly inform the entire Biafra people some of the international human rights treaty under the United Nations that Biafra government will ratify through the convention in Finland on the 2nd of December. I want to inform you, we are not only declaring the restoration of Biafra on the 2nd of December, but we are also ratifying the United Nations international human rights treaties and become party to these treaties to abide by these rules and regulations in order to restore peace and stability. Nigeria have not done that for decades. We are going to provide that solution. So, on this note, the Biafra people will gather in the convention alongside with many observers that will be coming from all over the world to observe the convention of the Biafra government, both in the homeland and in diaspora in exile. On that day, Biafra will ratify the International Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination, which was adopted in 1965. On the 2nd of December 2024, as we declare the restoration of the sovereign state of Biafra, Biafra will ratify the United Nations International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, which was found in 1966. My fellow Biafrans and the good people of the world that are listening and are very, very sympathetic to the cause of Biafra people. I want you to understand that Biafra will be the beginning of civilization in Africa. We have suffered enough. Our people have been killed, and those who made it alive today should go and thank their God that they are alive to witness this particular history that we are making in this generation. On the 2nd of December 2024, that historic day, Biafra will ratify the United Nations International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights. My fellow Biafrans, I want you to understand what we are doing. For those who think that this is a joke, you will understand after 2nd of December. My fellow Biafrans, on 2nd of December, the Biafra government will ratify and assent to the United Nations Convention Against Torture and other cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment, which came into force in 1984. On the 2nd of December 2024, Biafra government will assent and ratify the United Nations Convention on the Right of Child, which came into force in 1989. We are laying this foundation for those who do not understand how Biafra will restore stability in the entire region, to understand that only by the rule of law that sanity will return to the region of the West Africa, largest resources. On the 2nd of December 2024, during the convention that will shape the history of Africa, Biafra government will assent and ratify the United Nations International Convention on the Protection of Rights of all migrant workers and members of their families, which came into force in 1990. My fellow Biafrans, on the 2nd of December, we are not just only declaring the restoration of independence state of Biafra to raise a legal document, but we are also assenting as a government, ratifying the United Nations International Convention for Protection of All Persons from Enforced Disappearance. Today, Nigeria is known for enforcing the disappearance of those who criticize it, who criticize the government, those who criticize the leaders, those who criticize officials. They enforce their disappearance. Just a few days ago, we listened to one of the lawmakers bragging to a taxi driver how he can make him disappear and nobody will talk about him anymore. It happens. Thousands of people have disappeared as a result of them criticizing the government officials. While Nigeria was party to this treaty, they encourage and use their law enforcement agencies to violate it. Biafra is bringing alternative. How can you come against the Biafra government? We are people that embrace the future and innovation. So we are going to abide by this international covenant, international law, and international treaty, making sure that it is a pathway to restore peace and stability. On the 2nd of December 2024, the Biafra government will not only declare the restoration of independence of Biafra to restore peace and stability in the Sahel region, but we are also going to assent and ratify the Convention on the Right of Persons with Disability. My fellow Biafrans, on the 2nd of December, when you hear them say December 2nd will come, a lot is going to happen that day. It's going to be one of the most important days in the history of humankind. The Biafra government, during this convention on the 2nd of December, will ratify and assent to the United Nations Optional Protocol to the Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights. My fellow Biafrans, on that same day, 2nd of December, the Biafra government will also ratify and assent up to the optional protocol to the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. My fellow Biafra people and the lovers of freedom across the world, we are solidifying the legal document that will form the pathway to the recognition of the Biafra as a government, as a state, and then also to bring in lasting peace to the already deteriorating security situation in the Sahel and in the region of the eastern part of Nigeria called Biafra. My fellow Biafrans, on the 2nd of December, the Biafra government will be ratifying and assenting to the United Nations second optional protocol to the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. And our aim is the abolition of the death penalty. This particular convention aiming at the abolition of death penalty, Biafra government will assent and ratify this treaty. In Finland, where I live, which we have taken models from the constitution and many structures of the government, we do not have death penalty. And here, everybody is enjoying, and the government is working for the people. Crime rate is very low. My fellow Biafran, on the 2nd of December, the Biafra government, during the convention, will ratify and assent to the United Nations optional protocol to the Convention on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, which came into force in 1999. The Biafra government will ratify and assent to this convention and treaty. My fellow Biafran, the Biafra government, under my leadership as a prime minister, during the convention in Finland on the 2nd of December 2024, will also ratify and assent to the United Nations optional protocol to the Convention on the Right of the Child on the Involvement of Children in Armed Conflict. We will ratify this treaty and abide by it, not like the Nigeria terrorist state are doing in the northern Nigeria. On this 2nd of December 2024, as we declare raising a document for the restoration of independence of Biafra, the Biafra government will ratify and consent to the United Nations optional protocol to the Convention on the Right of Child, on the sales of children, child prostitution, and child pornography. Like under Nigeria, these are not crimes. Why Nigeria assent and sign into these particular treaties, they do not even know the value. They do not know the value in the society. They do not know how it helped to shape society to become a better society like you have in Europe. Like one of the criminals in IPOB, Nigeria, was surprised why Simon Ekpa is making all these utterances in the name of fighting Biafra and nobody is disturbing him. But his uncle shared a nude of a child in Germany, and he has been in the court for the past 5 years. As a Nigerian criminal, this man does not understand that sharing any child pornography is a serious crime. And here is where that particular law was derived from. Under this particular treaty, under the United Nations, the optional protocol to the Convention on the Right of the Child on the Sales of Children and child prostitution and child pornography. He didn't know it's a crime because he is a product of Nigeria. So Nigeria does not respect international law, and that is the reason. That is one of the reasons that are anarchy, insecurity, and all manner of atrocities in Nigeria, and they do not see most of these things as crime. So they come to Europe, they commit these crimes, and they are wondering why police is after them. We will ratify these laws, teach the people what is right and wrong, and make our society a sane and more saner place to live. My fellow Biafrans, on the 2nd of December, alongside other dignitaries that will embrace our convention all over the world, they will witness and observe the Biafra government assent and ratifying the United Nations optional protocol to the Convention on the Right of Child on a communication procedure. We will also, on that 2nd of December, ratify the United Nations optional protocol on the Convention Against Torture and Other Cruel, Inhuman, and Degrading Treatment or Punishment. The Biafra government will not only do consent to all these protocols, convention, and optional protocols of the United Nations, but also we are going to ratify the United Nations optional protocol to the Convention on the Right of Persons with Disability. I want you to understand that there are many international instruments that the Biafra government will consent to, and make sure we uphold this treaty, not just consenting and ratifying it like Nigeria did and other Islamic terrorist states, but we are going to make sure that we follow these particular laws because it is the only pathway to peace. Once you uphold this law, the rule of law, and abide by the treaties, it is actually shaping to restore peace, stability, tranquility, and all manner of harmony that you can enjoy as a nation. That's the difference between the Europe and Africa. And like I said, because we have come here, there is no other tribe, there is no other nation in the world that is widely traveled like the Biafra people. And not only that we are traveled, we are also in the government in different countries of our residence. We participate in the nation building, and we have learned a lot, and we want to now bring it to build our nation, to make it the beginning of civilization in Africa. I want to stop here because of time. So I will be taking questions, especially from people who wish to ask questions. And even though I have a limited time, but now you have at least a glimpse of the kind of things we are doing or we are going to do during the convention. It is not just about declaring Biafra restoration and all that. The aim of and objective of this convention is to raise this legal document that we are going to use to pursue the recognition of Biafra as a state. And this is one of the pillars of doing that, is by ratifying the United Nations international human rights treaties and getting ready to abide by these rules and regulations in order to restore peace and stability in our region, in our country, and in our state. Thank you very much, the media team. Over to you, Raphael. I have given you a co-host, so Success, you can continue from here. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Prime Minister. And good evening, fellow Biafrans. All protocols do observe here. All ministers of the Biafran Republic government in exile and the de facto government in homeland, you are welcome to this very press briefing by our Prime Minister, making bold of our steps ahead of 2nd of December. And as you can just hear from him, it is not just go to Finland and make a declaration, then raise a document, start sending to countries for recognition, but also to be part of the legal binding force that binds other nations, which made that very singular forum called United Nations. And there are a whole lot of it, as he has named them here, which Nigeria was in a hurry to become part of. They don't read the treaties, they don't read the agreements, they never read the backgrounds of what they're about to sign. They already signed it because they want to be part of the United Nations and also make part of the United Nations Security Council. And back home, they are disobeying the treaties they sign, which also form the nucleus part of their own constitutions. The centerpiece of their constitution is deriving from all these rights named by our Prime Minister this evening, and they don't even respect their own constitutions. How do they respect an international treaties, which they never read the backgrounds? So, according to our Prime Minister, he has assured us that we shall be part of all these agreements and treaties and bring first-hand civilization in Africa, not only Sahel, but in the whole of Africa, because it is only us that can be able to obligate and make this possible. So, Prime Minister, thank you very much. I know the 2nd of December is going to be whole lot of power-packed activities, which shall appear to the world as a surprise. Thank you very much. Deputy Minister of Communication, Mazi Raf Ajare. Welcome, sir, and unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, sir. Good evening, my Prime Minister. Good evening, fellow Biafrans and lovers of freedom. You're all welcome to this wonderful occasion of being with our Prime Minister to receive the blessings of Biafra, and we can see how far we are going. And obviously, we are very close home. We are very close home, and I give Chuko Kabiama the glory. Thank you so much, success, and everyone that is in this space. Please, Prime Minister wants to engage every one of us. As you have listened to all that he has said, please, based on what he just discussed, please bring your questions and go straight to the point. As the hands are being raised, I will respond to you accordingly. Please, as you will finish your questions, you just go down to listening mode so that the next person will be able to come up. First on this space will be Triple M. Triple M, please unmute yourself. You have at least 1 or 2 minutes to bring your questions and make it snappy.
All right. Thank you very much, Pastor Honorable Pastor Van. Thank you, my fellow Biafrans all over the world. Thank you, my indefatigable Foreign Minister. We appreciate you so much. But I won't say that is a question. It's just to applaud you because you renew the quality and the pride of the Biafrans in that so-called, in fact, all over the world, not only in the zoo. But I just want to ask you this question. I know it's not in line with what we are discussing actually, but it's with regards of what the criminal OBJ said during the time they captured our leader, they kidnapped him. So he made a statement that they made a very big mistake. The guy in Finland is more deadlier than the person they captured. Now, my question is this. Were you in any way have something to do with OBJ for him to make that statement? Or he had went underground because he's a criminal, he's a bony man? Because sometimes you do tell the criminal activity in Nigeria, before you fight, you go to your village, kick out to your gods or whomsoever to tell you who you are. So my question is, do you in any way have something to do with OBJ before he made that statement? Thank you, my Prime Minister. I appreciate it.
I have nothing to do with OBJ, and I will never have anything to do with him. He knows what I know, and I knows what he knows.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. How about OBJ?
I don't even understand there.
Do you have any question for the Prime Minister? Please use the privilege of your voice out to ask, please. Go ahead.
Anụ nkanka bidike ukolo mmụọ obi isi na-ebu ogidile oke mmụọ ọbataobie eze abata n'obi ndewo.
Okay, they just have eulogies for the Prime Minister, and that suits our PM because we are really blessed to have you, sir. And honestly, you don't understand how blessed we are with what you have done for us and what you're doing. We give God the glory and we appreciate you, sir. All right, moving forward, we have Radiant Black. Radiant Black, please unmute yourself. You've got 1 minute, at most 2, to bring your question. Very engaging one, please, to the Prime Minister. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be among this, struggle. I must say thank you, my PMB. And I don't have much question. I just want to use this 1 minute to thank my PMB and all the force behind him today. I'm one of the happiest person in the world today. I must tell you, because of this my Odogu PMB #1. So I thank the co-host and the ministers. You people are doing very fantastically well. I'm very excited. So as we in the homeland will continue to support you. People in the abroad will continue to support you because you are doing the right thing. So we are going there. Everything you are doing is on Abaya. Thank you very much. That's what I have.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please, I want you guys to understand that at the level where we are now, we are engaging at a very high level, the topmost level of this particular movement. And you can see where we have gotten to. So we need more engaging questions. Ask the Prime Minister that question that is very hard. Just reduce some of the thanksgiving and the appreciation. We know that you all are happy and excited. I want to just stay here and thank him and appreciate him, but he wants us to ask him questions that the world will know how ready we are. Please, if you're raising your hand, raise it because you have a question for the Prime Minister. And those of you that are still requesting, please make sure you have a question. Thank you very much. We move. We have Kama Israel. Kama Israel, please unmute yourself and bring that engaging question for the Prime Minister. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, our able minister. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you, Honorable PM. Thank you so much for always coming out to engage with your people. We appreciate you for that. My question is something that's been popping up on different platforms, and I believe you're the one to give us the answer. Some people are asking about the dress code for the 5 days program, and I think you can give us an idea so that I can just take the voice to the platform so that people will know exactly what to do. Thank you, sir.
Prime Minister, is that a question you would like to respond to, sir?
Yeah, the dress code, it remains the same like last year. Western style, black suit, black dress for women, and Western style, black, blue. So there is no traditional wear there. But you can come with traditional wear, and we will inform you through the various group that will be created for this particular event, for this particular convention. If there is need for traditional wear, you'll be notified. But everybody must come with Western style, just like last year. If you come with a traditional wear, you may not be allowed entrance into the convention. It's very important. You must learn how to abide by rules and regulations. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The next one, is there anything like a dinner night again on this convention, sir?
I don't know. I don't know if you are part of the of the. If you are coming, you should get that information from the organizing committee.
Thank you, sir.
Kamaisri, thank you very much. We move. My Prime Minister, I also want to ask a question because you keep us dumbfounded every time as events are unfolding. I want to ask you, sir. You have always been telling us when Biafra will come. We will sleep in Nigeria and wake up in Biafra. And with the unfolding events, we see things playing out exactly the way you have, been saying it. And just suddenly, the emergence of Donald Trump, who happened to be the good guy for the United States of America, and you also happen to be the good guy for the United States of Biafra. And both of you with the interest of your people at heart. And this is happening like it is happening in the same season at the same time. And is it that you saw these things through your crystal ball, or is it that the puzzles are just falling into place? Because I know that the lines are falling for us in pleasant places, and it's just getting very, very interesting. How did you come to know all these things? Is it that you saw it before time, or is it just that you knew it will all happen like this? We're just dumbfounded. Please, can you just tell us a little bit, sir?
There is nothing I have said that didn't come to pass. The only thing that I'm waiting for is this Biafra to become an independent state. That is the only thing I've said that is yet to happen. But we are on the process of making it a reality. So when I joined, everybody knows that I said I will never be part of this more than 5 years, and Biafra will come. So when I was saying I know the date of Biafra, I think that should have actually gives many of you some kind of sense of, articulating. If I have said from the beginning that I will not fight this more than 5 years and Biafra will come, you should know that I know exactly what I'm doing.
Wow. Honestly, we give Chukwu Kadama the glory, and you're just the man for the job, the new sheriff in town, and we can't settle for less. We are so happy.
God told me, God told me, pronounce it and I will make it a reality.
Wow. Honestly. Thank you. Please, Mazi Success, just know that if you have you want to interrupt me, just go ahead at any given time. You are always welcome, sir.
There's no problem. Just go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay, sir. All right, we move. Mazi Onyeka, please grab the mic and let's hear you.
Thank you for having me. All protocol duly and humbly observed. More jog. Agaba do. My question is this: today, I was engaged with some poorly informed Biafrans in a conversation regarding the convention, and one of them raised the question that only the international community have the right to declare Biafra. Say you are poorly informed. That our Biafran people have the rights to give mandates to our prime minister to declare Biafra and wait for international community to recognize, countries to recognize. And we don't need much. So I want to be sure that my answer I gave him is correct. After the declaration of Biafra, which the Biafra people have given you the mandate to do so, after the declaration on December 2nd, how many countries we need for recognition before we can be a sovereign state? That is my question, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You answered correctly.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
But let me tell you, it is not about how many countries that you need. You can have all the countries in this world. Okay. You can be recognized by 20 countries and And there are countries that when they say yes, others will not follow. And if they say no, even if you like, carry everybody along with you, you will never go anywhere. And that country is America. That is why it is very important that we educate the foreign policy makers and decision makers in the United States to understand that Biafra will be the solution to the instability that they have pumped billions of dollars for many years in the Sahel and beyond. So Biafra, we are presenting Biafra as a solution, which is exactly what it is. That's why we focus on educating them. Now, in the past, they will tell you that is nothing to show that you are actually, somebody is making noise. Can you stay muted, please?
Please, whose mic is open? You can mute your mic while you are listening to the PM, please.
In the past, all you do is noise, agitating without a structure, agitating without a foundation, agitating, just making noise, political pressure group. So nobody will take you serious. But they know that indeed Nigeria is not designed to profile the kind of solution that will put a stop to all the things going on in that region and beyond. So there is need for an alternative. But all the people that are bringing this alternative have not demonstrated the readiness to take that particular responsibility. So that's what we have done differently. So you need America. Once America goes, every other person follows. You will agree with me that during the Biafra civil and genocidal war, we have 4 to 5 country recognition. Did it give us independence? The answer is no. Did it make the United Nations recognize Biafra? The answer is no. But we have 4. And these 4 countries, or 5, are all members of the United Nations. It didn't give us the recognition. But had it been that America recognized Biafra, which they were actually about to, but because there were no foundation. When I mean foundation, I mean the kind of foundation that we have today, representation in the United States. A visible and good representation in the United States like we have it now. It does not exist. It didn't exist then. So there was no representation. But Nigeria is present in the US, so they know whatever that was going on, but Biafra doesn't have privilege to those information. So when America was turning its back on Nigeria, they begin to pressure the Biafra side to embrace peace and give up the fight. So it was actually a scam that Gowon did to Effiong, because Effiong did not know what America was thinking, because there was no representation. Today we have representation and we have voice, and in Washington, D.C. We have voice in the Congress, and that's exactly what we'll continue to educate them in the Congress to understand that that particular problem of 1960 has tripled, and there is a need to put a stop to it. Not only for the interest of Biafra, but for the interest of the United States and for the interest of the West, which will be in turn benefit Africa. So it is a win-win for everybody. How will you not abide and agree by that? So my brother, what we are doing in Finland is to generate this legal instrument, legal document. Like if you have been listening from the beginning, I was mentioning some of the international treaties, human rights treaties, the United Nations human rights treaties and convention that we are going to ratify and assent in Finland during the convention to be a backbone for this legal document, including the result of the self-referendum, including the declaration document, including the constitution of Biafra people, and many other things that will be adopted. This whole thing will form the legal backbone and the legal document for Biafra government to pursue the recognition from the top, from the United States Congress, United States Department, and we educate them until they understand that Biafra is the only solution. As that is happening, we'll continue the eviction of Nigeria in Biafra land. Nigeria can never survive me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my Honorable Prime Minister Mogvisto Ebus.
Thank you. That question that got our PM to respond, and the whole world is watching. Thank you. All right, please, those of you that are in the space as a speaker, you need to raise your hands. When we finish attending to the hands that are up, we will change the room with those that are waiting to come in. Rage and Fury, please grab the mic.
All right, thank you very much, my Honorable Minister. I hope I'm coming out loud and clear.
Go ahead, my.
All right, thank you very much. I will ask a brief question. First, let me greet my Prime Minister, His Excellency Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, for all the Biafran people. I am Anisoko and Urubu speaking Biafra, and I am proud of my Prime Minister. I am proud of my Biafra. And before I go forward, let me say, do you see this, my son, I say, after you have done what you do best? Do you see satisfaction on our faces as you decide for us to be free? You don't think it's much, but to us it means the world. We wake up every morning and wish you were there. You don't have to lie to gain our trust. You will always have your people trust. We always love you, Simon Ekpa. Your every contribution makes our lives a little bit safer every day. You are the hero. You are the hero. Thank you very much, my Prime Minister. That is a song from my mentor, Lucky Dube. I just changed some of the weddings and I feel like I can do it for you. My question is very simple, sir. Like from the beginning, you made your submission and you told us about some of international treaties that we are going to assent to. And you made us understand that Nigeria even assented to some of these treaties. So my question is, when a country or a nation that is part of this that assented to these treaties break them, you see that the international community doesn't have the power to punish that nation because here in Nigeria, most of these treaties have been broken by Nigeria. And my second question is, how do you know that Donald Trump is going to be the next president? Because before campaign, we were the one that said Donald Trump is going to be the next. And we followed you. To my amazement, 2 days ago, Donald Trump is today a president. What is happening, sir? Because sometimes when you make some exposition, I'll be scared that this is our prime minister, not go put us for trouble one day. You understand? At the end of the day, what you talk will come to pass. What is happening, sir? Thank you very much. I am Rejab Siri from Isoko speaking, Biafra.
Thank you very much. As you know, I'm a very strong Christian. And I believe in God. So that is what we call divine mandate. When you are in a divine mandate, everything you do works for you. Even if they are against you, they will turn and work for you. And that's why I said, God told me, pronounce it, and I shall bring it to reality. If you watch, that is not to say when I was a Nigerian, when I was in Nigeria, Nigeria is never something that God favors. You see all their nonsense pastors, they will be making nonsense predictions, saying they are doing prophecy. They will tell you one thing, and if it mistakenly falls into that, they will be using it to share to their congregation. You see, I said it. Our own, consecutively, I talked about our prime minister in Finland. he became the prime minister. I supported him. I talked about our president in Finland. He became the president. I supported him. I told you the next is Trump. I supported Trump. I was one of the first person that endorsed Trump as far back as 2023. And it is on Google. It is on Wikipedia. If you go to the list of those that international politicians that endorsed Donald Trump, go to international politician, my name is there on the list as people that endorsed Donald. It is in the media. You can search and Google it. It's in news. Nigerian news reported it. Some international media reported it. My endorsement on Donald Trump. I believe that because I am on a divine mandate, so God direct me how and what to do and when to do it. Not like when you are in Nigeria, you are fighting a wrong fight. If you are predicting on behalf of Nigeria, you are in the wrong side. Every of your prediction will fail. But when you are in the right path, and in the right mandate, everything will fall into place. Now, just check it from the beginning till now. There is nothing I have said that I have not had, including the kissing of dust of our enemies. They are falling one after the other. You may also understand that the one that I posted the picture a few days ago, the criminal Ejiofor have confirmed, is a native doctor to Ejiofor. He's the one doing all the juju for Ejiofor in Anambra. They call him Odanike. He was the commander of ESN. They recruited him immediately the same as Nnamdi Kanu. He became an Ebubago person, become AVG commander in Anambra, killing our people. Today, he is gone. Now, I tell you that many of them will go down before December 2nd. So what I'm trying to say, to answer your question, is that I am on a divine mandate. It is not just about Trump. Trump is a president. Trump is not going to single-handedly make decision on Biafra. That is why we started by educating the congressmen. That's why we started by educating them, and now we are moving to the United States Department of State to educate them on the importance of Biafra. So there is still a lot of work to do. But you know, the beginning of the work will even start more immediately after the December 2nd, because we need to have this legal document to be able to be ready ahead of what is to come. So a lot of work needs to be done, and we are doing that. So Donald Trump is just President Donald Trump. You know, is not he's not going to come out and say, okay, I give you Biafra. No, it requires procedures, processes, and many things need to be done, which we are doing very, very well. So that's why they will always tell you, follow who know road. Some people don't even know what it means. If you do not follow who know road, they will lead you to your, I don't know what it's called, but maybe you go inside the evil forest and you never come out again. We know road, and that's why we're leading Biafrans to freedom. So this foundation we have laid today, you can see where we are today. You can see for the past many decades of Biafra issue, nobody has ever in the public discussed with anybody in the Congress, except now that the Biafra government, under my leadership, we just started. And on the 2nd of December, which is just few weeks from now, you are going to see the caliber of people that will be in the Biafra Convention in Finland. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And that I think you have answered my second question, which I would have loved to ask that, being that you were the first to endorse Donald Trump, the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in Homeland and the de facto government in Homeland, being that you are the first to endorse Donald Trump, how does it affect, how does it contribute to our freedom? But I think you've answered that. And let me use the mic by saying, I'm on a Simon Ekpate for my radio friend. Simon Ekpate Simon Ekpate for my Nojano. Simon Ekpate for my Simon Ekpate for my Rufoma. Simon Ekpate for my. Thank you very much, sir. I
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rage and Fury. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for your commitment and your service. Blessings. All right, as we move, I welcome our fellow media person in the Biafra government, our own Betty Ford. Let me grab the mic. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, my wonderful Prime Minister. I thank you. I love the way you started this program. In fact, I am very, very happy. Sorry, my people. I thank all of you for gathering and coming around whenever we are on the air. Thank you all so much. I appreciate all of you. My PM, I will call you this name. I don't care what people think. You are the Jesus of our time. And I thank you so much. I'm very proud and happy to be working under you. You have really thrown the light and it is shining. There's a question. Well, I won't call it a question, but it's just to make reference to it. On the X, I saw Nigerian government appeals to Donald Trump to distance himself from Simon Ekpa freedom agitation. Whether they said it or not, they don't know that America came by agitation and by fighting as well. Is there anything you can throw a light on that very comment, if at all it is true?
There is no comment on that. It is dead on arrival. So I know that they did that. They did that 1 month ago. So, but what am I going to comment on that? Donald Trump doesn't listen to Islamic terrorist sponsors like Nigeria.
Exactly. So my second question is just like a human being that I am.
And then also, let me also quickly say that I can never be Jesus. I'm not even close to the spit of Jesus. I'm not even close to the sweat of Jesus. So all glory goes to God and Jesus. Jesus is the one that is piloting this affair through me. I can never ever be equated to his even footstep. So please, just I know how you feel. I know how you feel, but just to correct it, you can continue. Just leave this comment and continue, please. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, the next one that I have been wondering about is in relation to our lobbyists. I know that we
will not entertain any question about lobbyists. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Keep the light shining. We are with you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, our own Betty. Thank you so much. We move. All right, the hands are up and we're going to bring them. Please, 1 minute now, going forward, 1 minute, bring your question, and then the next person will take the microphone. And I give you the microphone. Simon Ekpa Pikin, you have 60 seconds, please. Go ahead.
Good evening, my people. I greet you. Once again, I want to thank my Honorable Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa. At least I have learned a lot through him by knowing that Igbo can generate a lot of wise and intelligent people. I honor you, my PM. Then I want my PM to make a little reference concerning this. After this convention in Finland and we declared our freedom, then I want him to give a little reference on how we are going to deal with Nigeria, or how international community is going to put their eye on how Nigeria is going to treat our leader, Nnamdi Kanu.
I have addressed that. You just watch and see how it unfolds. If you're listening, you know that I have addressed all these questions you're asking here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazi Simon Ekpa. I greet you. This is the question I wanted to ask.
All right. Thank you very much. That has been taken care of. Thank you so very much. We move. All right, and it's good that was taken care of very quickly. Please, see Vibes. Unmute yourself and bring your question, please.
Okay. Good evening, my Prime Minister. Good evening, everyone on the space. I thank you all for this day. Okay, my question is just simple. What I want to ask is that how will Biafra handle issues of borders, citizenship, and governance after independence?
You wait, we have a constitution. Can you mute yourself, please? You have to talk it. There is a noise. So
mute your mic.
Biafra have a constitution which will be adopted in the convention, and those constitutions have addressed the issue of border crossing, the issue of citizenship, and all that is well addressed in the Biafra constitution. So you don't have anything to worry about that. Just keep your fingers crossed. After the convention, the Biafra constitution will be public.
All right. Vibes, are you good with that? Do you have another question?
Okay, my second question is this. Am I loud and clear?
Bring it on, please.
Okay. Okay. What I want to ask is that how much support does the Biafra independent movement have from the people in the region?
You're asking how much support. When you have 40 states, when you have 40 United States of Biafra, have your map, have representative in all the 40 states. You're asking how much support you have. You have your support from all your family members alone. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm done.
Okay, thank you. How much support? Every seat at home, you see this, or the whole of Biafra is locked down. Our votes,
no, he's talking about support where 50 million people have voted. How many people do you have in Nigeria? I beg, just wait, somebody else coming.
Okay. All right, we move. Please go ahead and bring your question. Igbo, the progenitor of black. Please go ahead.
My Honorable Prime Minister, I greet every one of you in the House. My question is based on the immigrant treaty with the UN. Like we all know the situation the world are facing now based on the immigrants. How do we Biafra manage it in the situation whereby?
Where are you calling? Where are you calling from?
Hmm?
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from South Africa.
Why are you worried about immigrants when you are immigrants in another man's land?
Yes, that is where I'm not worried. I'm just trying to emphasize one or two things.
What are you emphasizing? Because you are an immigrant in South Africa. So is if Mandela and co were emphasizing on immigrants, will you be there?
No, I will not be there.
So cut the question, please. You people should be asking something that is going to help, to explain certain things about the freedom, not about we are concerned about immigrant while you are there somewhere, somewhere's country, somebody else's country, and as an immigrant. If everybody was concerned about immigrant, you will not be there. So talk about something that will help. Talk about something that will help your freedom, not all this nonsense side talk about what will happen after your freedom. Talk about how you are going to get your freedom. Talk about the finance that is needed to get your freedom first. Talk about the guns and bullets you need to protect your women and children first. Protect your border. You are here asking questions about immigrants, and some of you are just asking questions that are not irrelevant.
Yeah, you should have waited. You see where I'm coming from.
No, because I know where you are. I know where you are going. If I allow you to say it now, you will still mess up. Do you want to say it? Do you want to continue?
Yeah, can I say it?
Okay, I continue. Let me hear you.
Yeah, where I'm going through based on because of what we have in the Islamic jihadists. And we have a situation where we have to checkmate them so that they will not use those avenues to chip into us the jihadists.
Okay, have you finished?
Yeah, that is the angle I want to chip in.
Okay, you see this, you still mess up. That's exactly why I stopped you from the beginning, because Nigerians are criminals. Nigeria breed criminals. Yes. So if Nigeria breed criminals, South Africans are worried about the criminality of Nigerians. Will you be there in South Africa?
No.
That's why I asked you to leave that talk. Now you have said it. Exactly the same thing I was thinking you are going to say is what you said. You said you have something different.
Okay, I think I rest my question.
Thank you.
I withdraw my question.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please, the next person to bring your question is brother. What's this? Brother Van. Oh yeah, let's hear you.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. I want to thank the for this privilege. Sir, I've been following you closely and I've been observing everything you're doing. It has just been falling into place. So my own is not really a question. It's like an appreciation and also a soft reminder that you should please help us with a continuous update because we here, that is what we are feeding on. It's not as if we have a direct boss we work with or whatever. And in this part of the country, anything can happen to you. So you have to be very careful, especially with your device. So please help us continuously with the updates. As they are making the moves, help us with the updates. And this, what's it called? This, the constitution you talked about, because we here, we need to study it also. December 2nd does not assure us the fact that everything is going to be rosy. But based on the constitution and based on the things that will be happening, unfolding, we'll be able to trace our steps individually because it's the individual effort that would collectively bring about what we seek to achieve. That's just what I want to say. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right,
And God
thank
bless
you.
you all.
Thank you very much. We move, please. I want to encourage us to bring really demanding, engaging questions, please. At the end of it. Who is opening their mic? Please, Biafra Liaison Australia. Let's hear you. Your mic has always remained open. Let's hear you. What do you have to ask? Please go ahead. Australia.
Hello, greetings. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Is that our daddy? Please go ahead, sir.
Greetings, everyone. Your Excellency. I'm just excited on this United Nations human rights treaties that you presented tonight. And I just want to say, now we begin to understand why the Vice President of Nigeria went to the United Nations and we saw him on the sideline with the president of Finland. And when he got back home, the news media was twisted the whole thing and saying that the reason why he had the president of Finland on the sideline was to ask him to support Nigeria to become members of the United Nations. Now, we now see why Nigeria got only 2 votes. Because the vice president himself that was soliciting for Nigerian membership was himself the leader, the sponsor of the terrorists that is ravaging the whole country. With what you stated and with all these human rights treaties, I could now see the saying that says overtaking is allowed. Today, it has become clear to the world that United States of Biafra has overtaken the zoo called Nigeria. So I just want to bring it to the notice of everyone that what our PM have just stated tonight has shown what kind of nation that Biafra is going to be. Overtaking is allowed, my PM, and I don't think Nigeria will have anything to say, especially their media, having understood what you share tonight and all these treaties Nigeria is supposed to be a signatory to, but unfortunately, they ignored because they don't know any better. And upon the violations of these treaties, they think they could bulldoze themselves to becoming members of a permanent, having a permanent seat in the United Nations. So overtaking is allowed, and unfortunately, Nigeria has messed themselves up. Kudos, Your Excellency, for leading us and for bringing to the world, showing the world what Biafra indeed is going to be. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Iwunze. Iwunze is the liaison officer of the Biafra government in Australia and the representative of the Biafra Pacific in Australia. So thank you very much.
Thank you, our daddy. We appreciate you, Daddy Iwunze. Thank you so very much. All right, we move. Please, Chidinma, bear with me. Let me bring up this person with the same image that is familiar with the image we see as always, antagonizing and attacking. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Mayor, I don't know if you is the same person that owns this account, but we are happy to have some of you here. The Igbo, there's one Igbo page. We are welcoming all of you. Please come here and ask the Prime Minister questions. Please grab the mic, Mayor, and let your question be precise and make it quick, please. Unmute yourself, Mayor. Mayor, we're giving you the microphone. Unmute yourself and go straight to the point. Mayor, are you ready to ask the question, or should we remove you from the speaker? All right, maybe he's scared. They're scared to confront the Prime Minister. I'll still leave you in the room. When you're ready, you come up with that question. Chidinma, please grab the mic until that Mayor is ready.
Good evening, my PM. Our honorable Pastor Van and the ministers in the house. I'm so excited. I don't know where to start because this is my first time. I've been trying to enter this space. This is my first time of coming into this space where my PM is addressing issues. I'm very, very excited. And the question that I wanted to ask, it just seems as if my PM knows what was in my mind. He treated it because I am part of this religious side that was so deep in me. All these things, when I realized that there is another means of transforming life to God without even preaching, what you'll be seeing live from people's way of living, just as it is in abroad. They don't talk much about Bible, they don't preach anything, but within what they are doing, your life will tell you that you are doing it right or wrong. So you don't need anybody to come and preach gospel to you. That is what the Biafran I'm about to see. I don't have question, and I know that a lot of people are waiting to speak. So I will not go much further than to say thank you, my PM, for specifying it, because I have a pastor that was like confused. She was very distressed about how are we worshiping human beings? It started from our leader, because when we used to say Nnamdi is another savior, all these things sometimes it scared them, as if to say that we don't realize that there is God. It's not human being. But you have just said everything about this. Maybe if some people are like being afraid or being confused about, are we not noticing God again? And you know, you are aware, and you are aware of our leader Nnamdi, and your own way, as in he used to pray like pray, but your own is not. But you do more than we are seeing it in your action. The prayer is in your action. Even though that our leader used to pray and all this, but your own, we are seeing it in your action. Yes, these people are still like, they are like still confused somehow, as in, are we worshiping human beings? Are we taking him to be our God? Even from my own side, I've seen many times when I do a post, people say, what continue worshiping him, he is your God. I said, we are not what is not, nobody is God, and you have specified it today that you are not Jesus, so you don't even reach it. Thank God for this, because I'm happy to hear this, so that this particular this thing will be cut off to share to those people that are scared. Even when they say end time, they are like, this is what we are saying, you know, people will be against Christ. You have specified it, my PM, I'm happy. So that was the question that I would have liked to ask. And before I go off, because of time, I would like to sing this song. Nnamdi akene na mkpụrụ ikuru n'uwe pugo. Nnamdi mụtara nwa ka nwa. Nwa mụtara wee mụta nwa mụta. People doesn't know what you have done in our life because they thought when they are saying kidnapping, catch him. They don't know that millions of people that you have, not only just our leader, you have sowed a seed that is even beyond you that we have not known. But let me be coming down to finalize it by this song. If unu nwa Biafra, maka na abụ m nwa Biafra o, abụ nwa Biafra o, Biafra maka. Let me hold this here. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
thank you very much, Chidiman. Continue to be coming down. In addition to that, I always confess Jesus Christ as my personal Lord and Savior. In case anybody don't understand that, I am a child of God. I am a child of God, and a Jiran Chineke egwu, Jiran Jesus egwu. At the same time, I have culture. I understand my culture because culture is the way of life of people. So anybody that doesn't understand his or her culture is a lost person. So I understand my culture. I respect my culture because it is the way of life of our people. So I respect, because at the same time, I embrace this so-called foreign God. I love Jesus Christ so much, and he is my personal Lord and Savior. It is my own personal business. It is nobody else. I'm not doing it to impress anybody, but I confess Jesus Christ as personal Lord and Savior. At the same time, I value my culture. I value Chukwu Okike. A lot of people don't even know what is Chukwu Okike. In those days, in our land, we have what we call Chukwu Okike in our compound. Everybody, we have Chukwu Okike. It is a way to communicate with your own God. How you communicate with your own God is your business. So, I can there.
Thank you, our able Prime Minister. We are also honored to have our Chief of Staff. But Chief of Staff, please bear with me. There is this person here that probably have gone to gather some questions, and I'm really curious to have this face here. Mayor, have you gotten the questions now? I'm going to give you the last chance. Open your mic and let's see if we've got any question for the Prime Minister.
All right. Good evening. I have some questions, and some sincere questions I will need answers.
All right.
But
make sure you go straight to the point. Go ahead.
Before I start, I will have to say something. Please. There is a guy you called Umokoko. Raphael, I'm
please, I'm gonna remove you. I'm gonna remove you now if you don't ask your question.
It's very unprofessional who claims to be representing people to call someone Umokoko when you think that person asked a sincere question.
Please go ahead and ask your question. If you are not doing Umokoko, ask your question.
When you conduct a space, I expect you.
Wait,
Raf, allow him to speak. Allow him.
I expect you to be more professional. You don't call people who might be a bit confused. You call them Umokoko on a space that maybe there are international people listening. I expect you to be more professional. That's my advice. Now, this is my question. I have been following, and my question goes like this. I have seen there are some situation here whereby there is an attack on the military personnel, and they invade villages, burning homes and markets, maybe abducting innocent youth. I want to know if there are plans, maybe after the said 2nd of December, to make sure that this type of attacks are minimized. This is my first question.
Okay, sorry. Before I answer you, can you be specific? What kind of attack will be minimized? You mean the military burning the villages and all that, or abducting our people?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you
I'm
you
talking
so
about.
okay, so you know that the military are burning and abducting our people, right? And your question
So,
is, what do we do to minimize it?
yes, is there any plan on ground
Okay, all
to
right.
make
Let
sure
me
this
let me
type of
let me answer you, please. Everybody stay quiet, please. Yes, as
No,
a
they
matter
are,
of
PM, the destruction is coming from their end, so they are plenty
okay,
there.
so everybody
Yeah.
stay muted, please. All right. So yes, as a matter of fact, there is a plan, and the plan is what you see today, because the level of killing by the Nigeria terrorist army, that's what addressed them, because that's what they are. It have reduced drastically compared to what we used to witness in the past. And you can agree with me, no matter how bad you see it today, it was worse in the past. Prior to 2021, we saw worse attack on our land, and immediately once Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped in 2021, they unleashed mayhem, the worst, massacre of our people and burning of our properties and villages witnessed from 2021 to 2022, until I pick it up from there, and the whole thing begin to reduce. So we begin to make sure we attack them in self-defense. And so attacking them is not something that will, reduce their barbarism overnight. It's something that takes time. And that time it is taken from 2022 to 2023 to 2024. You cannot check yourself. Check those places they have been attacking before. Check Biafra land yourself and see the differences that we have made today. Today we have reduced the attack to the brims, to the minimum. And it will continue like that until we make sure we evict all of them from Biafra land as we pursue the international recognition of Biafra. So that's where we are. We may not be able to stop them completely. Even them, they cannot stop, they are part of the terrorists in Nigeria, so they cannot stop every attack against Nigeria indigenous people. So we are going to make sure that we suppress them to the brims, to the minimum. And that's exactly what we are doing. So by the day, we reduce their strength until there will be no more. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that answer. And please, according to my research on the Biafra government in exile, I realized that the legitimacy of a government in exile depends on its local supporters in the grassroots levels. So I have also realized that there are some areas where there is a means of communication. I have seen you post something like a radio, and a radio, yeah. So, and in the part of Biafra land where I reside, I don't think there are people who know much about what is going on. See, some of them rely on me for some information, yeah, which I know few of the information I give them too. So I'm also asking to know if there are plans to make sure that everybody is carried along, maybe educated in some part of Biafra land, to educate them on what to expect after 2nd of December, and why 2nd of December is very important.
That's exactly what we are doing here. So now, if you are one of the channel of their communication, you are in this space. So whatever you learn from this space, I don't know when you join, you can now go and continue your job like that, because no government will get everything right. And especially we that are in exile, because of the fragile situation in the homeland, we are in exile, operating from exile. So not even the so-called government have any influence in the homeland to control the communication or make everybody to be informed of what is going on. Many of the things happening, we in exile are the one informing people back home. Many of them don't know when terrorists come to their backyard and kill their neighbors. They don't even know about it. It is us that shares the information to the neighboring villages that they have attacked them, or they have attacked your neighbor, and they will begin to see it on social media. So it is something that takes time, and we are making progress in that aspect. So if you are the channel of communication to the Biafra that are where you are, you just continue that way. Make sure you tell them the truth and tell them what you know. Do not carry propaganda on behalf of the Nigerian government, because by the time they find out the truth, you become the enemy, because they're going to find the truth. They're going to find out the truth one day. So if you are one of those who carry propaganda to them and lie to them, one day they're going to find out the truth, and then you become a bad person, and it may cost your life.
I'm saying this because not everybody, especially the grandpas in the village, and that not everybody is on social media.
Yes,
So
not everybody is on social media. But have you wondered how Biafra were able to gather almost 30 million votes and 50 million votes and counting? Nigeria government, with all their radio and all that, they could not even have up to 25 million votes in Biafra territory. 25 million or 24 million registered votes, only 4 million voted in the general election. The results are there. But look at our grassroots awareness. We have 40 United States of Biafra. In each state, we have 15 counties. These 15 counties of each state have been occupied by county head. And in these counties, we have in each county 5 districts. These 5 districts have also been occupied by district head. And in this, it means that we are also in the grassroots. So those people that are lacking information are those who are not interested or who are not interested in the Biafra struggle until now. So now they begin to pay some kind of interest because they see the direction where we are going and they are looking for information. And most of them are just looking for the information now. But we have actually captured a great number of Biafra, up to 50 million. That's completely in examination. It's a pass mark. So we do not expect to capture the entire Biafra territory to make sure we get to every individual. It is impossible, especially at this stage that we're operating. So this particular number we've gotten now so far in the self-referendum is a pass mark to attract international interest and international recognition. And that's all we need. We cannot get everything 100%. You understand what I'm saying? So with what we have done so far, we give credit to ourselves and then push it to the next level, which is now making this particular self-referendum, using it to generate this legal document, including the ratification of the United Nations, different international human rights laws, make it a legal document and begin to push for international recognition of Biafra. In addition to our sit at home, which every one of you, some of you in those days, have criticized so badly. But we stand on our ground. They say, yeah, we are killing people to sit at home. At the end of the day, the same people have come after 3 years to say, in fact, they have not agreed that their plans are willingly sitting at home. It is a price and sacrifice that they have to make for us to be able to delegitimize Nigeria, to prove that Nigeria no longer control at least some part of the Biafra territory. It may not be all, but the biggest part of the Biafra territory, Nigeria has no control over them. And that part is the hinterland, the southeast. Thank you.
All right.
You have one last question, please. One last question. Pick the best question.
Okay.
That very best one. Pick it and ask it. Just one more question.
Let me ask one more question. There was a viral video that some people were posting where there were gunmen. I don't know if it is the Biafra Liberation Army but let me say there were armed men on that video saying, if you don't sit at home, you will die. So I'm just saying, if it is the Biafra Liberation Army, that maybe they should be told on how to, they should be controlled on what they say while on camera when they go about to enforce the order that is given to them. Because I know that, yeah, some people are looking for loopholes to say this is the criminality or this is what they are doing wrong. So I advocate for them to be properly disciplined. Thank you. Thank you for your answers.
Thank you very much. And I will tell you that that video you see has nothing to do with the Biafra Liberation Army. In fact, as a matter of fact, that video was probably a video of 2021 when we were not even, yet in this whole thing that is happening. So it was a video that was made by the Nigerian government to blackmail the ESN then. It was not even when Biafra Liberation Army was formed. Biafra Liberation Army was unveiled last year during the Finland Convention on the 21st of October, if I'm not mistaken. So it has nothing to do with the Biafra Liberation Army, and it can never be. And again, like I've just said a few minutes ago, that after 3 years of propaganda against the Biafra government or against the Biafra liberation, which I am heading, the people that are propagating these lies have come again to say that, oh, they have just come to notice that Biafras are willingly sitting at home, which is the fact, because they have come to understand that Nigeria is not happy with the result of the sit at home, and because they are tired, and once Nigeria complain, they understand that it's like this is really getting to these people. So if this is the only strength and power we have, let us use it judiciously. That's why Biafrans are sitting at home. And if we call for sit at home for 1 week, because they have seen how Nigeria have cried for over 3 years, they are still going to sit at home again. So forget all this, their lies of, oh, they are enforcing it, oh, they are enforcing it. When Nnamdi Kanu was here, did you not hear his broadcast on Radio Biafra during the time the others sit at home? We have not said most of those things. We have not done anything like that. We have not enforced anybody to sit at home. We are fighting to protect our people from getting killed by the Nigeria army. Just like you said in the beginning, that how do we stop them from burning the villages and killing our people? These are the people trying to blackmail the Biafra movement, but they failed because they thought that when they bring gun, Simon Ekpa is going to run away. I'm not going to run away. I will still call again another sit at home that will even be worse than what they have seen before, but the time is coming. So it is a price that our people have to pay to delegitimize Nigeria and prove to the world that Nigeria have no control over the Biafra people again. That's what we are gaining, because a lot of people are asking, what is the sit at home doing? So apart from the economic strangulation of Nigeria, we're also proving that they have lost completely control over the people, at least for this part that are sitting at home, this part of Biafra that's at home, the Nigerian government have lost control over them. It's very important because the government in exile have to demonstrate they control some territory of their land, and that's what we have done. Thank you.
Thank you. And,
All right.
Mayor, hold on. Mayor, I'm going to give you a chance to ask another question. You see that you are engaging our PM now, and he's responding to you. So for those that are still waiting to ask questions, these are the kind of questions that have been bothering you, and you have been listening to all the propaganda and lies. Now the PM will respond to you. And I will not call you a coco if you are very reasonable with your questions like this. So please bring up that question again. Another one. Who's another one that is very hard? Who is talking? Who is talking?
And please, he can actually invite other people while he's on this space. So he can invite his fellow people to come here and ask questions, because I will give them opportunity to do that. Thank you.
Exactly. So if you just ask another question, we can stop. We don't even want our Biafra Republic government to come up here and ask us questions. We are looking for people like you. People like you, more of them, come here now and ask your question. Mayor, I'm going to give you another chance for 2 more questions, because while you're asking the questions, more of them will come and see that we are not attacking you, we are not calling you a coco, because you are here to ask that questions that bother you. Please take the mic again and ask. Grab the mic. You can go ahead.
All right. One more question is this: I know that after 2nd of December, that there will still be checkpoint. There will still be Nigerian government presence here, and I know that, like I've always heard you say that there will be an increase in the attacks on the Nigerian armed forces still occupying this area. So my question is this: if they intensify, because I know that the Nigerian armed forces have war machines. My question is this: if they intensify, is there any plans on your template to ask for military assistance or military equipment in exchange for something, maybe in exchange for resources in our land? Is there any plans you have to ask for military assistance or equipment from other countries?
I can tell you publicly.
Let me tell you, please, nobody should interrupt him. As a matter of fact, we are already in that kind of intensity of war against Biafra people, but we are defending our land and defeated them. I don't know how they will intensify the attack other than the throwing bomb. They have thrown bomb. They are throwing bomb all the time. Many of you are not aware of this. They are throwing bomb, and we're shooting at them from the ground or while they're on the air throwing the bomb. We have anti-aircraft. I don't know whether you people are aware of that. Our anti-aircraft may not be Our anti-aircraft may not be that sophisticated, but we are engaging them, and they will never stand to fly 10 minutes on the air, and they will run away. I don't know whether you're aware of that. We have sophisticated anti-aircraft too that we're using to engage these people. So ask people in Imo State to tell you what is going on. And that is a reason for why this whole thing is happening in Imo State. And you may not, I don't know whether you're aware of that, but like Nnamdi Kanu said, for those of you who may not like Nnamdi Kanu because of what you claim the way he was preaching his own, he said that Biafra will come from Imo State. And there was a reason for that. It is just not, it is beyond spiritual, but at the same time, the reason why Hope Uzodinma was installed in Imo State was to, to continue the Islamization agenda against the conquest of the Southeast, and then they will spread to the South. So in order to stop that, we must stop Imo State, Nigeria representative in Imo State. And that's where the whole thing is happening. So for those asking, why is this thing happening in Imo State? It is happening not only in Imo State, it's happening all over Biafra land, but where it is more defined is in that Imo State where they have installed their, the point, their cardinal point, which is
their strong man.
Their strong man, which is the cardinal point now where they will use to spread to other parts. So we must engage them and eliminate the presence of Nigeria from Imo State. That's why it is happening there. But having said that, yes, we are ready for anything. I mean, anything to make sure that we protect the life of our people, our women and children. Those life of our women and children are the most important thing for us. That's why we are doing everything. So we're going to do everything and anything possible to exchange whatever natural resources in exchange for arms and ammunition to protect our land. We're ready for that. But let me tell you, we may not even go to that extent. Who is making this noise, please?
I don't know. I'm looking for the mic. I don't know which mic. I don't know which mic is making that noise. Honestly, I don't know.
We are ready for anything. And let me tell you, we may not even go to the extent of saying that we need more weapon. Everything is not about weapon. Everything is not about gun and bullet. The only reason we are carrying gun today is just to make sure that they do not come and burn our villages like they are burning before. They do not come and kill our people like they are killing before. That's the only reason we have these guns. So it is not to go to fight and liberate ourselves or to fight and break away from Nigeria. No, we are not fighting to break away from Nigeria. For us to fight to break away from Nigeria, we need jet, we need armor tank, we need all those things. We're not fighting to break away from Nigeria. We're only fighting to defend ourselves, to defend our women and children from getting killed like a chicken like they have done in the past. That's the reason we have gun. Our gun is not to break away from Nigeria and declare independent state. No, our gun is as we are pursuing the diplomatic. Who is making this noise, for Christ's sake?
I need to mute. Let me mute everyone. Maybe it will help. Okay.
All right.
PM, go ahead, sir.
All right. So
that person is still talking. How manage? Who is this person? Who is this person? That's
can you where is our Australian rep here?
No, I've removed the Australian rep from the room.
I think he's the one I'm hearing this voice.
Please, Mazi,
Iwunze, are you here?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Please,
I can hear you. So you are the one. Can you mute yourself? You are the one talking. And how are you still talking when you are not even in the speaker?
I wonder.
Wow.
You are still talking. Yeah, mute yourself, please. Mute your mic.
Okay.
You are still talking.
If you're not muting, you have to just leave the space and come back again, please.
Yeah, okay. You can leave this. You can leave the space and come back, please, so that
leave the space entirely, please.
All right. So, sorry for that interruption, everyone. So, like I was saying, for those who think that what we are doing today is that we are fighting and breaking away from Nigeria. No, we are following this whole thing in a very peaceful way, in a diplomatic way, in a political way. So, and in case if you don't know, we have 4 different approaches to Biafra freedom today. 1 is the diplomatic approach. 2 is the political approach. 3 is the civil disobedient approach. And 4 is the armed struggle approach, which is for the self-defense and the protection of Biafra land. So those thinking that we are going to start shooting gun after December 2nd, you are very far from it. What we are doing after December 2nd is to pursue this whole thing with the international diplomacy and the political means and the political approach. So it is one of the most effective way to get our freedom, as well as we are evicting Nigeria with our arms in our land. So this is exactly what we are doing. So those expecting that if the thing escalates, are we going to need arms? We are already getting arms, and we are going to get more. And that arms is not to start declaring war, or we're already at war. But what we're going to do is to continue to get arms and ammunition to defend our women. You can imagine a country where you have people that carry arms to defend themselves. Instead of you to go against those people carrying arms, you look for innocent people. Is that the kind of country you want to be part of? And then some people will say, oh, you are the one that made military to come to Biafra land to kill people. You are the one who bring military because you carry gun and give to people, so military are coming. And you ask them, when we did not give gun to people, who was the one bringing the military? What was the reason the military coming to kill innocent people in the playing ground in Aba? Were they carrying arms? What was the reason for military killing people in Mazin and the Kanu house? Were they carrying arms? What was the reason the military was killing people in Nkpo Junction? Were they carrying arms? What about in Enugu? Those people killed in Enugu, were they carrying arms? So these are the things that people are not asking. Before we start arming the Biafra people to defend themselves, why were the military killing them? And then when you talk, they say, oh, you arm them. That's why they are coming. That's why they are coming to kill. My brother, my sister, I want you to know today that if we did not arm Biafra by now, not even your village will be safe. They will come and kill, just like they did in Okwama community. They came there and they leveled. In Bayelsa. It is not only this government, but Obasanjo did it. With the massacre, everybody knows about the massacre. Did anybody take anybody to court, to ICC? The answer is no. Did anybody take anybody to any court in the world for the massacre of Udi? Nobody. So how long will we continue to live in a country, and how long will people continue to defend a government that kill its own people in the name of looking for criminals? So we are profiling a solution, bringing alternative that if a government that when somebody commit crime, look for that criminal. If somebody carry gun and say he's a criminal, look for him. Do not go after his family members. Do not go after his siblings. Do not go after his community because somebody is a criminal in the community, and then you kill the entire community. Is that the kind of government anybody will be proud of? We are eradicating that government, and that's what we are doing. That's why we carry arms. And these arms will continue to increase. That's what we're doing today, my brother. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Mayor, go ahead. Have you invited some of your friends while the PM is answering your question? Ask one more question, very relevant one, the one that bothers you more, and then let's see if others will join you in the request. Go ahead, please. One more question.
Okay. Let me just say this before I go. This question goes to the to Simon Eber, right? Are you assuring us, like, because on the social media you see people mocking, right? Even saying what will happen after 2nd, we will be here after 2nd of December to see how things go. And me, I have met research personally to know how these things work. And so I'm only asking this to know, are you assuring us that after 2nd of December, there will be changes, even if it takes time? There will be changes that people will know that indeed there was a declaration that was made. Is that what you are assuring?
I am not assuring, I am guaranteeing you and Biafrans that. I'm not giving assurance. I'm guaranteeing Biafrans and the entire people that believe in what I'm doing. I'm giving a guarantee that they will see what will happen from after December 2nd. And like I said, if you have listened to this space, I said we have started educating the people in Washington, D.C. We have started educating policymakers. We have started educating congressmen. We will take this education to the Department of State. We will take this education to the highest level. And from there, every other person will follow. Mark my word, this is how Biafra is going to come. And right. what we are promising is a solution to bring stability to this anarchy situation in Biafra land, in Nigeria, and the Sahel region. And Biafra is coming as a solution. So who is not going to buy into or key into that? Because these have, these have disturbed and interrupted trade. It have disturbed and interrupted, movement of goods and services, including shipping. There has been a lot of attack, piracy and all that. We are going to put a stop to all this. So which government in the US that is not going to be interested in ending all this nonsense that is happening about terrorism and all that? The terrorist interest is in Biafra land. And if you understand that a reasonable people, policymakers, think tank group are now keen into Biafra government as a solution. And that was the reason you can read Michael Rubin article about the next administration must keep an eye on Nigeria. Have you read it? It is from the National Security.
Have you read that?
It is from the National Security Journal of the United States. Have you read that article?
I saw you post it. I haven't read it.
You see, that is the point. How can you not read it and you are interested in what we are doing? So all these questions that you are asking, that particular article should open your eyes. So I advise you to go and read it. After reading it, share it with your colleagues for them to understand the level of the job we have done.
Most of them are preoccupied with a notion that they have been sold to them about you. They have already believed some of the lies and propaganda. So sometimes, no, I'm not talking about you.
Why do you like to?
Mayor, I know you have.
You should be more professional. Stop attacking people. You're making people afraid of.
Mayor, I'm not attacking now. You see, you are just preoccupied
with
some of the things you talk about me.
Stuff like this, many people with genuine question will be afraid of entering here because of embarrassment. They feel like you embarrass them when they come to ask questions.
But you cannot see that that's not true.
Pastor Mayor, you have been, I think the PM has given you a lot of privileges, and you enjoy a lot of privileges communing with him. Now, what you have to do is, you have to go back and make your research, read his tweets, and follow up. Whatever that Pastor Bamba is doing is not attacking people. He is doing everything he's doing out of experience. What we have seen 2-3 years back, and we don't entertain that kind of laxity anymore. We are going to run democracy when we are free. But for now, it is all about focus. And this is what he's doing. So he's not attacking you. Thank you.
Thank you. P, I'm sorry, I didn't take the word out of your mouth, sir. You were trying to conclude on something. I was just, I'm sorry for interrupting, sir.
No, I was just telling him he cannot be looking for, if he's really interested to know the truth and what we are doing, not just what is coming from my mouth or what I'm going to say on the space. He should also follow and read what I'm posting. Now, that article by Michael Rubin is from the National Security Journal in the United States. It's one of the highest think tank group or the think tank institution, foreign policy and American policy making institution in the United States. So if people like that can actually, recognize the Biafra government in exile, because that article is a recognition of the Biafra government. So if you read it and you see the content of that article, that should explain a lot. So when you come here, you will come to this place loaded with even more questions, because you would like to know some certain things from what you have read in that article. But here you're asking some certain question that may not even be the main thing that you need to know. So these are the problem, because when you go and read those things, you come here, you'll be prepared to be able to, you want to ask more questions to know certain things. But here you are not asking even the question that I'm expecting somebody like you to ask. But now you saw those things I post, you don't read them. So how do you know exactly because most of the things I'm explaining to you here is not everything that you need to know. But when you read most of those things, have you also read the OBT International Eye on the Biafra self-referendum? Even our self-referendum has been recognized by another institution from the United Kingdom, who came to Biafra land by themselves to make a research, a field work research. They came, nobody invited them, nobody influenced them. They came by themselves. We saw it on their article. So I don't know if you have read the OBT International report on the Biafra self-referendum. That's a self-referendum that they are laughing at us that, Who is recognizing your self-referendum? Is there anybody observing it? Is it UN? They are already, people don't know how international law works. That is exactly the problem here. So Biafra government, as a government in ESA, have the right to organize and participate in election. And this self-referendum is one of them. Once you organize yourself, meet the requirements according to the Montevideo Convention, you are good to go. We have demonstrated not only to have the capacity, but at the same time, we have demonstrated to have the capacity to govern our people, and the government of Biafra is now in charge, both in the government of de facto and the government in exile in Biafra land, and the entire governor in the Southeast. And I'm using Southeast, for example, because it is not a must that you must control the entire territory of your country before you can be recognized. Controlling even small part makes a very big difference. So if you look at the population of Biafra, 50 million has given the consent to the Biafra government to go ahead and do whatever it takes to liberate them from Nigeria. Who can go against that? So these are the things that you need to know. And these things I'm saying now were mentioned in that Michael Rubin's article. So please, read these two articles. Read the Michael Rubin article and read the OBT International article, where they specifically recognize, both of these articles recognize the fact that over 30 million Biafran has voted for the first several. As at then, 30 million has voted. They recognize that, and they were telling the decision makers, policy makers, to keep an eye on the Biafra self-referendum. And the Michael Rubin National Security General was telling this incoming president of America, the new administration, to keep an eye in Nigeria. And so that is how Biafra is going to come. And Biafra is only providing solution so that everybody can benefit. Everybody who is doing business in that region can benefit. Both the European Union, both the America and other African countries will have a smooth sail in their shipping without any piracy attacking them, without any security threat. It is a win-win for everybody. So why should we be beating around the bush and trying to kill each other when we are bringing solution? And you as a Biafran, all you need to do is, if you do not agree in what we're doing before, sit down, research on what we're doing, forget whatever people, because the reason why many of you, like Rafael was saying, is not reading what we are posting, because you are already preoccupied with the propaganda that you are hearing on social media. Otherwise, you should be paying interest. If you can come here to engage me on a question like this, you should have big interest to read what I'm posting, to see, is this a lie? Like when we are posting pictures of the congressmen meeting the Biafra government in exile, meeting with the congressmen, including meeting with the Speaker of the U.S. The Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives. They say it's a fake. They say it's a Photoshop. And I wonder how we are going to go to the level of photoshopping all these people, prominent people, posting them on Twitter and all that, and none of them have come to debunk it's a lie. So, there's some kind of propaganda that when you are hearing it and seeing it, it makes you look stupid. If you continue to follow the people that are pushing such propaganda, other people will just see you as a foolish person. Because you cannot, somebody like me, or this Biafra government in Israel that have the head office in the United States, cannot just come and start posting picture, tagging the House of Representatives, tagging congressmen that we have met with them. And some of these people, I met with them, had a meeting with them, explain the reason why they must support Biafra. And when I come publicly to say I have had a meeting with such person, tag the person, and people will carry the news and say, oh, it's a propaganda. He didn't have a meeting with anybody. And I wonder why you should be following such people with such propaganda. It doesn't make sense. It makes you always look foolish. So that's what I'm trying to say. So if you have people now, what you need to do now is that, look, go and engage this guy, which is me, on space. Ask whatever question you want to ask, and I will address you. And at the end of the day, I'm not asking you to follow what we are doing, but I'm asking you to use your conscience and judge yourself. That's exactly what I'm doing. Judge yourself with all this propaganda on social media. You remember how they started? They say, Tinubu paid me. It is not flying anymore. They say, I am an agent of Nigeria government. Now it is not flying anymore. They have changed again to say that I'm a CIA agent. It is not flying again. They say I must be sponsored by some European countries that want to destabilize Nigeria. And who is not going to be happy as a Biafran? If I'm being sponsored by European countries to destabilize Nigeria, are you happy to be in Nigeria? You need to be in Nigeria. Need to be destabilized. So if somebody is sponsoring me to destabilize Nigeria, you should be happy, because Nigeria needed to end for you to have a better life. So why is destabilizing Nigeria become a problem to you? that is fighting to end Nigeria and become free and get freedom. So you see, and they changed from that to say that, oh, now he is being sponsored by some occultic people, like some pastors said in those days. So there is nothing that I have not said. But at the end of the day, my job, the activities I have done, and the result will always expose them, and they will always change from one thing to another. So my brother, we're not here for that. Thank you very much.
Wow.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Mayor, you even raised your hand again. It seems like some genuine questions are emanating from your subconscious. Anyway, just like the PM said, I don't know, let us allow other people to ask questions. These spaces are always being held, on a regular basis. The PM is always here. So don't, let others learn that you don't need to have that premonition of your mind. This is a perima, he's a liar, he's a thief. Come and engage.
Okay, he's giving 100% this thing. Give him another chance to ask one more question.
Exactly. I don't know. Did you go away? Please come back. I will bring you in, please. Mayor, come back. I'll bring you back in, because now I believe that after the PM have extensively, spoken to you, some genuine questions will be coming out from you without premonitions, without your, that perceived, hatred about this man. He's just fighting for his pocket. He's loading the money in his account. He's trying to scam people and all those jargons that you just wonder where these people that call themselves human beings are actually getting these things from. Please come back. We are going to engage you. Please, before we take the next hand, we are honored to have our chief of staff, who has been very, very busy, and to spend some time to be with us on this space is an honor. And I want her to grab the mic and salute the world over that are listening. Chief of staff, please, you're welcome.
Yes. Welcome, everyone. Can you hear my voice?
Loud and clear, ma'am.
All right. Thank you so much, Honorable Pastor Van Van Van. Thank you so much, His Excellency, the Peace Ambassador, Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. Thank you so much for all the cabinet members, de facto leaders that are here listening to this space. Thank you to Biafrans and friends of Biafrans listening here today. Again, my name is Dr. Ngazero Brez. I want to use this opportunity to thank all of you for devoting your time to be here and listen to our Prime Minister as he expounds on the United Nations International Human Rights Treaties today. And before I go into the few things I want to talk about, Pastor Van Van Van, I wanted to thank you for the courage and what you're doing to make sure that we decipher some of the sycophants we have in Biafra land that parades around Twitter space, using different demeaning words, different names to refer to the Biafra restoration, to our prime minister, and to different people. I know the person that the last speaker, I know, thank you so much, PM, for having the patience with some people like that. But I can really tell you that some of the questions, choice of words, and some of the ideas that this individual, if I am sure, as Honorable Van 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 has expounded, is the same individual on Twitter, has really done a lot of damage to this struggle. The question he asked about how are you going to stop the attack on military personnel? I know at maybe PM you didn't really hear the question very, very well, but that was what I heard, and I think that's what he meant, that maybe we are attacking military personnel. But I think I wanted to make this individual to understand that when you have rehabilitated and reintegrated terrorists being shipped into Biafra land, attacking our people and killing our people in different ways, we will have no mercy for them. There'll be no reduction. There'll be no stopping of any attack on these reintegrated terrorists that are parading in Biafra land, killing our people, maiming our people, burning our homes. So I believe the PM didn't really hear your question in full, but to answer that, any reintegrated terrorist in Nigeria, in Biafra space, wearing Nigerian military uniform, Nigerian police uniform, Nigerian security uniform in any Biafra territory, they will continue to be on the receiving end until they leave Biafra land. I know you talked about something about controlling our Biafra liberation first, what they say, what they do. That's really none of your business. If I have to refer to some of the posts, I've seen somebody like you post on Twitter space, you really have no atom, no criteria.
Chief of staff, 1 minute, the person you are referring to is not actually the guy that came up here. It's just that they have the same DP. That one is a
okay, great.
You just have the same.
It's a different person.
Yes, it's a different person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's why I said if it's that individual, but if it's not, then his thoughts are in order, just as our Prime Minister have answered those questions. So let me quickly talk about the Nigeria being a crime scene. I know PM has talked about some of the human rights treaties that Nigeria have been disobeying, and we talked about our leader Nnamdi Kanu, whom the United Nations Committee has already told Nigeria to release Nnamdi Kanu and compensate him. Nigeria has violated that. Nigeria has refused to follow the instructions of the human rights treaties which they've signed. I talked also about the right of women, the right of children. Nigerian government has made most schools in Nigeria, especially in the northern part of Nigeria, to be shut down. Kids don't go to school. Women don't move around safely anymore. Most of the schools are being invaded by these terrorists. They go to schools, they kidnap kids. This happens every now and then. They kidnap school children. What is Nigerian government doing about it? Absolutely nothing. And we're going to talk about the inhumane treatment, the freedom of expression, the freedom of speech. All of us are aware of how the Nigerian government, using the National Broadcasting Corporation, shut down different media platforms once they say anything against the Nigerian government. These are part of the international human rights treaties that Nigeria has signed at the national level to allow freedom of expression, to allow freedom of speech. I'm not going to talk about using Boko Haram, using the Hamas leaders, and attacking innocent people. Extraordinary rendition. Nigeria is part of that. Civil disappearance of innocent Nigerians. They clamp down on people that march. They end bad governance. You all were witnesses when some young kids were brought to court by the Nigerian government. We have juvenile courts. They refuse to use that. And these kids were captured during the 3 months ahead when they did the end bad governance, and they remanded them in prison for the past 3 months. They just brought them to the court last week. These are rights that Nigeria signed, and they have continued with impunity to destroy these treaties that they signed. So Biafra is the only hope. Biafra is going to come in and correct these faults. Nigeria is a crime scene, and anybody that cannot go talk anything good about Nigeria, about Biafra, they need to tell us what is the other alternative that they have. So on that note, I'm not going to go into that much, but again, most of the international instruments Nigeria has signed, that Nigeria has been part of, one, they don't respect that. They destroy that. Nigeria still give death penalty. The other day, they sentenced somebody to death penalty in Nigeria. And these are some of the treaties that we are part, and they signed. They're not going to do that again. So on that note, I just thank everyone for listening. And Biafra is here. There's no going back. There's no choice. It's not a matter of whether somebody likes it or somebody does not like it. The Biafrans have decided we have the power to self-determination. It is our right, and we are taking it, and nobody will stop that. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you so very much, our Honorable Chief of Staff, Dr. Ngozi Oraboeze. The whole world is watching, the whole world is seeing it. This is the generation that will restore Biafra. This is not just a facade or a mirage. This is real. Very organized government led by this prime minister, well inundated with world affairs. Everything about this freedom is top notch, and we are going home. Thank you so much, Dr. Ngozi Oraboeze. And I think that brother, you didn't come back. I don't know, PM, do you want to respond to give us an addendum to what the Chief of Staff has said, sir?
No, we can wait for the next, if there is any other question, and then I will have like 10 minutes, 10 minutes more.
Okay. Okay, sir. All right, let's take this hand that is up. Those of us that are here, 10 minutes for us would matter a lot. If you have a very engaging question, the PM might even extend it if you engage him with those difficult questions. The friends of the last guy that came, if you are here, please request and raise your hand. DJ Simpson, please grab the mic.
Good evening, Biafra all over the world. Good evening, His Excellency Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. I greet you, sir, and everybody in the house. I am privileged to be here this evening. Thank you for the good job you are doing. The Almighty God will continue to be your strength. He will guide you, keep you, direct your path. You will never stumble. You will surely lead us to our destination in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Now,
your mic is noisy. Ask your question very quickly, please.
Okay. My question tonight is this: when you are talking about the disabled people. Now I want to ask this question because of the bad governance we have in this country called Nigeria. Now, no hospital, no good road. Now, like some of us now that the country have dealt with, like maybe we have a little accident that might solve because of the bad hospital and you know, when anything happens to you, go to hospital, they have to increase the bill. If you don't have the money, that is just how you will be there. Nobody that will come for your aid. And that has led many of us to like maybe sudden handicap, something like that. So my question now is this: like most of us that made our problem can still be solved medically. So is there hope for us if Biafra is restored, that as a citizen of Biafra, they can revisit our condition and solve the problem for us if it is solvable? That is my question. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You can stay muted, please. Yeah, there is noise coming from your end. Biafra government will adopt what we call the National Insurance Scheme. This National Insurance Scheme will facilitate the subsidize medical, medical fee or something. So if you go to doctor or you have issues like you have just said now, first of all, the National Insurance Scheme will subsidize it. So if it is something that will cost, let's say, 50 a gemma, for example, the National Insurance Scheme will cover like 90% of this 50 a gemma. So you are only going to pay 10 a gemma. So that is for a start. So what does that mean? What it means is that everybody in Biafra will have access to medical care, whether rich, poor, whether you are employed or whether you are unemployed, you're going to have access to medical care. That is one of the most important and the first priority of government, provide service to every citizen of Biafra. And so if you have such problem, and you want to revisit the problem that Nigeria created for you by not providing adequate healthcare to solve these health issues. Yes, you can revisit, it can be revisited, and you have to receive the best medical attention available on this planet Earth, because we're going to make sure that the Biafra hospitals are well funded, well equipped with the state-of-the-art facility to make sure that we meet that. We are looking at where there is going to be a medical tourism in Biafra as a nation. So we're going to have medical tourism because the best doctors in the world are from Biafra land. The best nurses we have in the United States, they are Biafrans, and I don't think they're going to be there, wasting time. Everybody is going to come back home to bring their expertise to Biafra to build our nation. So you're going to receive the best treatment ever. So we're going to make sure we invest on the medical tourism in Biafra land. So yes, to answer your question, it is possible to revisit your problem. And like I said, the National Insurance Scheme of Biafra will cover percentage of your medical fee in subsidy. Thank you.
Wow, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, there's
Thank
too
you
much
very
noise from
much.
your background. Thank you very much for that question. Please just go down, let other people ask questions. The noise is too much from your end, please. Just bring yourself down. I'm trying to do that. I couldn't even do it. DJ Simpson, Simon, bring yourself down to the listening mode, please. Mayor, I'm trying to bring you back, but it's not allowing me. I don't know who else is there. It's me again. Do you want to raise a question? Who is this? Kent, unmute yourself. Kent, mute yourself. Kent, okay, if you are stuck in a hurry and you have a very important question, go ahead and ask. Kent.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I have this important question to ask. This thing has been flying all over the Twitter, saying that on the 2nd of December, Biafra will be declared. So I'm wondering, how is it possible having our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu at the detention and declaring Biafra on the 2nd of December?
Is that your question?
I have this concerning our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. There is this kind of rumor I've been hearing online saying that he's not from Biafra land based on his name, Ekpa. So I just want some kind of clarification. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. So you asked two questions. Why should we be declaring Biafra when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in detention? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not Biafra. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a Biafra agitator, just like every one of us, like me, like you, and he was the leader, or still the leader of indigenous people of Biafra. So he is not Biafra, and Biafra is not tied to him, that he must be here for Biafra to be declared or restored. That's number one. Number two is that he will be very, very happy to see that his fight and sacrifices of many years did not go in vain. That even as he being incarcerated, this particular fight that made him to be incarcerated did not die. So, and if you have been listening to him, as you claim, as you are so concerned about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now, he said that anywhere I am, Biafra will come. So I don't know when you started listening to him. So if he is not prepared for this, he will not be saying anywhere I am, Biafra will come. And that's where he is today. The intention of this Nigeria is to take him there so that Biafra agitation will stop. So, and if you dance to that tone, it means that he was very, very lucky to have us. Because if it is like only you people that he have, he will regret ever coming out for Biafra. So, but because people like us are here, so he is going to be very, very proud. And that's the reason why he has not given up. Because he knows people, he's hearing how we are dealing with them, water. Therefore, you people, Biafra would have been dead. We'll be talking about how to come out. And at the end of the day, they will turn him to the second Wazirike. Like Wazirike, you know how they did the Wazirike? They brought all his commanders, and they went with him with his commander to meet with him in prison. And he was like, if all these people that I'm using to make math can succumb, so who am I? Coming out to become a chaff. So he decided to give up. That was how Wazirike's story ended. So if not for us, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have only people like you, by now you will regret ever fighting for Biafra and for Ndigbo. But thank God we are here. So we are not going to wait for him to come out. Like I said, he is going to come out in a very historic way. How is that historic way going to happen? When Biafra has been declared, restored, and we start the recognition. Before you know it, we will capture all their big fishes and exchange them as in exchange for prisoners, exchange them for political prisoners. Swap if they refuse to release him. That's where we're going to go. So thank you for that. Then the second question about my name is not Igbo. I don't know who told you that there is something called Igbo name. Where is Efiam from? Is Efiam not the vice president of Biafra? So if Effiong is Effiong your Igbo name, if that is the problem, and who told you that you must answer Okechukwu to fight for Biafra? There is nowhere, it is not in any Biafra law that your name must be Okechukwu or Ndubisi or Ojoku or Nnamdi in order to fight for Biafra. Effiong was a Biafra vice president, and I can answer any name. Most of you people that are fighting me today on social media, I don't even have Igbo name. Okay, what is a mega gift? Is that a name? What is powerless? Is that a name? And this person who asked me this name said, "What is your name here, sir?"
His name is Kent. He used the name Kent.
Is Kent's name? You know, you people are more concerned about my name. When you are using fake name, you cannot even use any Nigeria. If you claim to be a Nigerian, you cannot even use any Nigerian name. If you claim to be a Biafra, you cannot even use any Biafra name. Proudly using your Biafra name for people to know that this is you. I am using my name, my identity. I am known all over the world. I am known in my country of residence and my country of citizenship where I live. Everybody knows me in Finland. Everybody knows my picture. Everybody knows my son. Everybody knows everything about me. But you people are more concerned about me, but I don't know who you are. I don't even know what you look like. You don't have your picture. You don't have your real name. And you're concerned about somebody who have put all his information out there in the public. My information is on Wikipedia. Go there and read about me. But I don't know who you are. You are asking questions about me when you don't. I don't know who you are. Nobody, no Biafra knows you. No Biafra knows those who have represented them for many years. They answer all manner of names, put fake pictures on social media, and they are fighting for Biafra. They are concerned about those who have brought out their identity to fight for the freedom of their people. So, my brother, we have Biafra Biafra have gone beyond that particular propaganda. You must not be Okechukwu to fight for Biafra. You must not be Ngozi to fight for Biafra. You must not be Chike Dozie to fight for Biafra. You can fight for Biafra under any name. And me, I am from India. If I decided to fight for Biafra, I am here. Thank you.
Chike, more powerful, a ghost. And now Mayor is back, PM. There are some hands that are interesting that have raised their hands. Mayor, you can see the kind of people I call Okoko, so that now you will understand better. Mayor, we want to invite you back. Please, Oluwanusi, please don't go anywhere. Let us take Mayor. One more question from Mayor, then we'll take a question from Oluwanusi. I hope this one is going to be interesting. Mayor, please go ahead. You have the mic. Mayor, can you hear me? Mayor, can you hear me, Mayor? I don't know if Mayor can hear me. Since Mayor, we wait for Mayor to come back and hear me. Oluwanusi.
All right. Please, I came up to correct some impression. Madam
No,
Ngozi
don't worry, Mayor, I've responded to her. Don't worry, please. I don't want this to overflog it. Dr. Ngozi, you are using the DP of a fellow who has been battering and they have never come to engage us here. I was curious about your picture. That's why I actually brought you up. So that Igbo, that there's one page called with Igbo, whatever. I don't know if you're associated with that page, but your questions today have been engaging and our PM have engaged you. Please don't go into what our chief of staff said, because it is your DP that actually got us curious to bring you up here. Thank you very much, Mayor. Except if you have another question, do not respond to what our chief of staff has said, please.
All right.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
All right, Oluwa, please grab the mic. You are welcome.
Good evening to every one of us that is in on this space. I greet you, Mr. Samepa. I greet you. I give you honor with everything that you have been done in Biafra movement. That's very, very good and very interesting. All of us that is following you people. Actually, I'm from Yoruba land, so I'm one of the freedom fighter for Yoruba nation. So I'm so very happy for what you have been done. I was so very, 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 very impressive. So I'm so very, very happy. Sir, I just want to tell you something. There's one thing that you said that I listened to. when you say that there's a lot of news that you are working for Nigeria government, that you are working for someone is raising you that you should betray Nigeria. That is how it be. If you look about Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igbohosa, about the news that they are bringing out about him. Some people are saying that Tinubu have given money, and some on the time of the regime of this man, what they call it, before the president or the present president that is there, which is Tinubu. That is there that he have given Sunday Igboho money that he should not fight for Yoruba again. That he have shut him up. Later, some people say that it is Tinubu that who is working for. That Tinubu have gave Igbo money that it have shut up his mouth. But with all the news, with all the propaganda that is coming out, we still thank God that Sunday Igboho, all what they are saying is not true. So there's no how this thing cannot be come up, because if you say you have if you say that you are a freedom fighter, a lot of challenges will come up. A lot of challenges will come on. There are some people that will love you with what you are doing, and some people that will hate you with what you are doing. Please, are you hearing me?
Yeah. You're very clear. You're very
Hello.
clear. You have 1 more minute. Go ahead.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So there are some people that will say that I know what you are doing. You are making a terrorist in the country, and some will love what you are doing. I know that. Well, may God will help us, and we are going to leave this slave country that we are. I was saying, I'm in Nigeria here in Yoruba land. There's a lot of suffering here, lot of suffer. There is a lot of people that is suffering. There's a lot of people that is suffering, and this just people, these animal people, they don't care about the people that they are governor on. They don't care about us. They don't care about poor people. They only care about themselves, and they only care about their family. So, sir, I just want to tell you that, please, sir, keep up the good work that you are doing. Don't look at anything that they are saying, and then I will just advise all our fellow that is following you, and all the people that love Biafra. Just keep your mind in one place. That yes, one day Biafra will come to free, and Yoruba nation will come to free. So God bless Biafra and God bless Yoruba nation. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Please, what, how many minutes do we have left? Thank you.
Okay, so we have 4 more minutes. Maybe we'll take 2 more questions, sir. Okay, then let's just take 2 people, please. The PM has spent so much time here. Also, 1 minute with your question. If it's more than 1 minute, I will stop you. And then after that, please, we're going to take the last one. It's me again. 1 minute, please. Let's do that. Thank you.
Okay. I greet you, my Prime Minister, my Honorable Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, and I greet everyone in the house. Anyway, all the question I want to answer, some fellow here, Mayor have asked some of them, so I don't have to waste anybody's time.
Okay, you wanted to go the same route with Mayor. Why not think about
No. I said some of my question, I already heard the answer from the Prime Minister why Mayor asked.
I know.
Now only one question. Only one.
Hold on 1 minute. If you have the same, can you listen to me 1 minute? If you have the same ideology with him, pick one question he did not ask and help him to ask it.
That is what exactly what I'm doing.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Only one question I want to ask. In this situation now in Biafra land, Nigerian security now trying to invade WhatsApp to check messages while our people are sending messages, because sometimes send for Facebook, they block, Twitter or whatever. But now they try to also to regulate WhatsApp so that even our people to send message through WhatsApp will be very difficult. So my question is, Honorable Prime Minister, please, where is our app? We need it. That is what only question I want to ask. When our app is coming out, because we are eager waiting for it. And that's my case. That is only question I want to ask. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. The app is almost done. You know, they have to do approval, review the app before approve it, before it will be on the Play Store and the Apple Store and all that. So these are the only thing remaining. Otherwise, the app is ready. But also to just address the issue, I know that there have been some kind of a voice note, you know, spreading across social media, trying to instill fear on people that, oh, if you send message, they will monitor your WhatsApp, they will monitor your this, and monitor your that. Nigeria do not have that capacity to do. In fact, America don't even have the capacity to do that.
Nobody can listen to your WhatsApp.
You understand? They don't have the capacity to do that. So apart from they don't have the capacity, it is just to install fear in you people because they see that Biafra is coming. They could not stop anything we are doing. So they want to create that fear because they know many people lack the knowledge and the technical know-how, especially in these IT things and all that. So they know that a lot of people are very ignorant. So they want to just push that on the air so that they will limit the level of communication about Biafra and you know, the more, because you know, if you listen to some of these idiots at the National Assembly, they say, oh, if something is not done, Nigerians will start believing Simon Ekpa. I don't know whether you know, you heard one of the senator from Ebonyi State, the idiot, is it Ebonyi State or something, was saying it that they have to do something now, otherwise, before people start believing him, that will be a problem. So, if how many of them can conduct election where 50 million people will vote? You know, so but we have done it, the Biafra government. So what they are trying to do is to install fear so that people will stop communicating and the information about Biafra and the awareness will stop spreading as it is now. That is the reason. The reason why, you see, when we call for sit at home now, the message will spread like wildfire. In fact, everybody if I make a video now and they say that we should sit at home in the next 2 days, before you know it, it will spread everywhere, including in the villages. So, and nobody listening to these criminals who never care about the people. So that's how our messages are spreading, and that's what I want to control. I want to make so nobody will send message to their people again about, oh, that is sit at home or something like that. They don't have the capacity to control whatever you do over how many hundred millions of people do in WhatsApp. It is impossible. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, my
Thank you,
PM.
sir.
Yeah, WhatsApp is end-to-end encrypted. Please, we are going to engage in the media again with that video and educate you and the world and know for people to know that that is just a lie from the pit of hell. Now we have it's me again. Please bring your question, please.
Yes, good evening, our PM. So many things to say. In this regard, since you don't have you have limited time, I will ask our minister Raf to bring in this Lena, so he will be part of it. And when next our PM come up, I will ask.
To ask. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Like you know, Lena's son have been up since. Lena, you're going to be the last person to ask the PM question tonight, and I'm sure you are blessed to be involved tonight. Lena, please unmute yourself. You're the last person to ask the question tonight. J. Lena, are you there? Oh, I asked her to ask question and she disappears. Pathetic. Anyway, Success, please, your end remarks, and then the PM will take over, and then we'll end it here. Mazi Success, if you're still active, please, can you just one or two things, and then the PM.
All right. Good evening, Mazi. And I must say that this space briefing tonight has yielded a lot of results. And in a reminder, we are law-abiding citizens, and whatsoever that concerns human rights as regard to any shape or form, we are ready to practice it in Biafra. So we back our PM and we back everything he is doing ahead of December 2nd and beyond. And I want fellow Biafrans to make sure they follow him, read all his articles, all his informations, and everything he posts, because that is the only place, that is the only page we get the authentic information. If not that page, every other page is just a secondary. So don't come in our next space and start maybe trying to take us back over what we have passed for years. Go back and start scrolling down, reading the Prime Minister's tweet. Whatever he sees there is just simply but the truth. That's just it. So Prime Minister will not disappoint us, and hopefully by December 2nd, the curtain that has been used to demarcate or partition Biafra will collapse. Thank you all. God bless you, and God bless the United States of Biafra.
My PM, sir. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you, and dear fans are happy.
All right, thank you very much, all of you, for staying here up to this point. At least over 1,400 people or 500 are still here towards the end of this space. I will be coming again to brief Biafrans as we, more of the other development as we going closer to our convention in Finland. And for those who are doubting Thomas, please pay attention to the beginning of this convention and the kind of caliber of policy makers, think tanks from different parts of the world that will be in the convention. Those that will not make it will also be part of us either visually or in other way, like videos and all that. So everybody knows that Biafra is the only solution now, and there is a clear pathway to freedom, which will restore peace and stability in Sahel and beyond. Thank you very much for being part of this. Always come here to ask questions. If you have those people that are always having coconut head, tell them to come to space. We give them opportunity to ask questions so that their concern will be addressed, and then those who do not know what is going on can also be educated about the freedom for Biafra. Everybody who is a Biafran is a Biafra. We're not going to kick anybody out of Biafra land, but then for those who have what it takes to support the struggle or the freedom or the liberation and they refuse to do that, we have a way to get them paid for it. Thank you very much. May God bless all of you.